This is the Bulldog, Eric Deters on Real Talk 1160. Good morning, Sensible Don, and we have major news to report right here in Bulldog Nation.
We got breaking news?
We got all kinds of break. Well, first of all, we want to announce, if you haven't heard it yet, that Rick Santorum has won Iowa by like 34 votes, but that's boring. Who gives a damn?
Hey, wait a minute. What did they do in here? They switched the microphones around.
Well, first of all, TC, if you would let the talk show host do his job, that was one of my major announcements, so we'll just go to that one now. You know what? You were pretty bad yesterday. You better shape up because, when I talk to Rob tomorrow, I'm going to demand a sidekick for you because you can't do this job. This show is too big for one producer.
And I'm looking out for you because there's a problem. There's a technical issue that I noticed with my keen, well-trained radio ear, and I do not want the Bulldog show to sound bad for one moment.
Way to look out for me.
There is an issue that we must deal with.
What's that issue?
I need Sensible Don to say hello.
Hello.
See, there's the problem. Say hello.
Hello.
There's another problem.
So it's not working? The new mic's not working?
Switch mics.
Switch mics there, Sensible Don. What we had here, folks, is our little studio.
There we go.
We decided to put in another microphone so we could have extra guests in here. And, of course, it works out good because we got that John Bick who works for Rocky Automotive, who's supposed to be coming in here. Boy, is he lucking out today because we also have Lori going to take us all the way to syndication, Taylor. And Tina, I'm going to be the sidekick to Lori Taylor. See, this is unbelievable. I got a sidekick with a sidekick, an agent with a sidekick, and I'm going to get a producer with a sidekick. But here's some more big news. Valentine's Day. You know, what better way to spend Valentine's Day than it's Ticket Sports Cafe, listening to yours truly, the Bulldog guys, TC Summers and Sensible Don, via videotape from Orlando, Florida, deliver Bulldog Nation Raw comedy. And that's going to happen.
It will be raw.
Next big announcement. God, I'm just so full of announcements here. Next big announcements. We would like to welcome to Real Talk 1160 Michael Savage. We kicked, finally, Dave Ramsey's ass off this radio station. You know, everybody says Dave Ramsey this. How do you talk about foreclosures and bankruptcies and getting out of the debt 3 hours a day after day after day? Dave Ramsey, I love you. You've done great work. You're a success. But I'm sorry, I don't want to listen to people getting out of debt day after day. It's Groundhog Day every time I turn it on. So guess who we got to replace Mr. Ramsey from noon to 3?
Mike Savage.
Michael Savage. Savage Nation. Now, here is what I think. You know, I don't always agree with the guy, but he's entertaining. I hear humor. I hear crazy man every once in a while. I can relate to that. But you know what? Early evening, he's the show I listen to. Now you can listen to him starting February 1st here, noon to 3. What a lineup flow. Bulldog Nation, Laura Ingram, Michael Savage. You know what I call it? Radio superbity, radio addiction. That's Laura's moniker. Radio independence. The Bulldog Nation salutes the Savage Nation. Two nations under God, divisible. We're not indivisible.
That's right.
Divisible
We could be
for liberty and justice and all.
Okay, wait a second. The producer is confused once again.
Well, why don't you get unconfused?
Laura Ingram, 9 to noon.
Correct.
And then Savage, noon to 3.
Correct.
Then what happens at 3 o'clock?
Dennis Miller. Dennis Miller's going to be on for 2 hours. How you like that? We have such a great show.
But Dave Ramsey wanted to save us from ourselves. If we get rid of him?
Yeah, we got rid of him. We don't need to be saved by Dave Ramsey. Hey, we already know that we're bankrupt and broke.
Thank you.
We already know that each of us is overextended.
Thank you.
And when we spend more than we make. And you know what? I get sick and tired of Dave Ramsey reminding me every day that I need to not spend as much money and save more.
Ramsey,
you can take that show somewhere else.
Get me down and
I don't need that. We have coming up today. We got a great feel good song. Oh, by the way, Jamie Schloy is a jackwagon, one of the jackwagons today. Our station manager.
Wait a minute.
I'm big enough here. It's
He
like
signs the paychecks.
It's like Willie at the other station. See, I'm big. I'm big over here. See, I can jackwagon at the station manager. You know why?
Why?
He told John Keysweater that Dave Ramsey and Laura Ingraham were the two biggest shows over here at the radio station. Now, let me
that hurts your feelings,
well, Sensible Don, let me see. Was Laura Ingraham here before we came?
Yes.
Was Dave Ramsey here before we came?
Yes.
Let me see. When we came in June,
the numbers,
and we started working at the radio station, what did the ratings do?
The
quadruple, not double, quadruple. So here I'm listening to Schloy telling Keith Sweater, oh yeah, Dave Ramsey and Laura Ingraham, and I'm sitting there, and I already told him. I said, he goes, Bulldog. He goes, I talked to him for 30 minutes, and him for 30 minutes, and that's all he put. I didn't write the story. I said, obviously. So Jack Wagon it up. When we get to the Jack Wagon time, our station manager, we've quadrupled the ratings, and guess what? Dave, you're spending too much money, Ramsey, and Laura, she always hosts Bill Riley, Ingram, they were already here, and we kicked their butt. Let me see what else we have.
I like to think that we more or less complimented them. Or they compliment us.
Well, they compliment us. But we have so much. The things that I'm going to tell you about my real life, you're not going to want to miss. I have the best flip-flop speech of all time. We're going to discuss what I should do for my wife's birthday on January 20th. And because we have a video, ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, I'm going to show you photographs of my wife that if you watch the video cast, you can see what the mystery woman looks like. Furthermore, Sensible Don, I feel a thaw. I think that we have a chance to get the wife on this radio program coming soon. I told her, I says, do you realize if you came on the radio show, our ratings would go through the roof that day? She goes, oh, no, they wouldn't. I said, oh, yes, they would. People would be dying to know, who is this woman that puts up with this guy?
That's right.
But we're going to have some fun today.
Did you get permission to use her picture?
No. Quote of the day, but she's sleeping. Boy, she was zonked when I left. A government of laws and not of men. John Adams. Today in history, the Union forces beat back the Confederates in the Civil War Battle of Mill Springs, Kentucky. What the hell? Nobody even knows about that.
No, I've never heard of that one.
A millionaire, Howard Hughes, set a record by flying his monoplane from L.A. to New York, New Jersey in 7 hours, 28 minutes, and 25 seconds. Not 26 seconds, 25 seconds. Dwight Eisenhower, 1955, allowed TV to film presidential news conference for the first time.
Good move.
And in 1981, U.S. and Iran signed an accord paving the way for the release of 52 American hostages held for more than 14 months. And today's birthdays, we got good ones. Good birthdays. Desi Arnaz Jr., Paula, I've got diabetes. Keep eating my greasy food from the South. Dean.
Ho, ho, ho. She's got diabetes because she's old and fat. She doesn't have diabetes because she eats no food.
Dolly Parton, baby. They're real. They're real.
Are they?
Janice, I died at 27 too. Joplin.
Oh.
Chicken's dream. And the author of The Raven and other great works of American literary pleasure, Edgar Allan Poe, who died drunk and passed out and dead. Wait, if you're passed out, if you're dead, you're more than passed out. He died passed out and dead on the streets of Baltimore. The things I say.
Yes.
3-day forecast. There's a snow shower coming today. And unlike everybody else in the tri-state, we're just going to tell you, chill, enjoy it, and don't worry. Tomorrow's cloudy. What the hell's cloud? Oh, there's a cloud. And then Sunday, there's a few showers. Once again, we prove that you can get the forecast in 5 seconds instead of 15 minutes.
Well, Larry King said that's probably the easiest job in broadcasting because even if you're wrong, you don't lose your job. Even if you have no idea, you can just say, partly cloudy, a chance of showers. Well, there's going to be a cloud somewhere, and there's always a chance.
Shall we do the joke today, now?
Why not?
This is a good one.
The whole joke this time.
A doctor from France says, in France, the medicine is so advanced that we cut off a man's testicles, we put them into another man, and in 6 weeks, he is looking for work. The German doctor commented, that's nothing. In Germany, we take part of the brain out of the person, we put it in another person's head, and in 4 weeks, he is looking for work. A Russian doctor said, that's nothing either. In Russia, we take out half the heart from a person, we put it in another person's chest, and in 2 weeks, he's looking for work. The U.S. doctor looked at all three of them and answered, that's nothing, my colleagues. You're way behind us. In the United States, about 2 years ago, we grabbed a person from Kenya with no brains, no heart, and no balls. We made him president of the United States, and now the whole damn country's looking for work. To be!
Oh, get the muffins out, please.
We'll go straight to the word of the day.
Yes, please.
Insatiable. You know what insatiable is?
Yes, you can't get
incapable of being satisfied.
Right.
Here, I'll put this in for you ladies. I'm going to put this in a sentence. All men are insatiable when it comes to sexual gratification.
True statement.
That word is used in an Isley Brothers song.
The dog saying of the day, it's a dog's life, which is better than what Sarah put up. I want to apologize to Bulldog Nation because, as you know, in Bulldog Nation, we are not a rated R show. Oh, I got another reason to jack-wagon up Jamie Schloy. He told me yesterday in a text, and I can prove it, and I'm taking this all the way to Yinger. He says he wants me to have a woman in here to show cleavage. We are not going to be that kind of a show, Jamie Schloy. When we come back, radio superbity and typical women, they're late.
Well,
on Real Talk 1160.
Why can't we be that kind of station?
Because we are not that kind of show.
I want that station.
Jeez, oh Pete.
Simon Kenton Pioneers host Grant County Friday night, hoping to stay undefeated in the district. Steve Jarnicki has the pregame starting at 7:34. Tip-off at 8 o'clock right here on Real Talk 1160. And now, back to the Bulldog.
Keep that song rolling. On Real Talk 1160, we will give you Lead for the Head. My favorite rock song of all time. Oh, I talk like this. Robert Plant. Oh, this is Bulldog Nation. I'm going to do the whole show one time, just like Robert Plant.
Sounds like Robert Plant ain't Bill Clinton.
Yeah, I'd like to do the show like Bill Clinton one time.
Now, how would Bill Clinton do that show?
This is Bill Clinton. I'm in for Bulldog. No blue dresses today. Hey. Let's do history.
Why not?
Teddy, TR, boy, he's dominating our history
He's
stories.
a busy
We're on
guy.
a theme here. Is it TR month?
TR month. Glenn Beck would be disappointed. By the way, I jackwagon. You're not going to believe the number of jackwagons I got. I jackwagon up Glenn Beck, too, today.
Everybody got you angry yesterday.
I'm not kidding. I think I got 10 jackwagons. Theodore Roosevelt was more than an activist president. He was perhaps the greatest phrase maker to ever inhabit the White House. His contributions to the English language still affect the way we talk. It was Roosevelt who first called the White House a bully pulpit, a great stage for someone to use that make his views heard around the world. We got a bully pulpit right here, Sensible Don. He is also famous for the proverb, speak softly and carry a big stick. You know, they did a porno movie off that. It was disgusting. It didn't stop there.
I missed that one.
T.O. also came up with a lunatic fringe to refer to the extremists that populate. I didn't know that. He named a rock song, the lunatic fringe.
I thought that was recent.
Asking in 1912 whether he could run for president again, the president introduced yet another enduring phrase, "My hat's in the ring." Roosevelt also had been credited with accidentally authoring one of the enduring marketing slogans of the 20th century. In 1907, Roosevelt visited the Hermitage, the Tennessee home of President Andrew Jackson. Given a cup of coffee, he drank it down and then supposedly exclaimed, "Delighted, good to the last drop." Holy cow!
No way.
This is a president that Glenn Beck bashes.
This guy's better than Forrest Gump.
Do you know he wrote like 30 books, spoke 5 or 6 languages, was the first president to ride in a car, ride in an airplane, ride in a submarine.
Really?
Win the Pulitzer Prize, not the Pulitzer Prize, win the Nobel Peace Prize.
And he invented the color blue.
No, red.
Oh.
There wasn't red until 1907.
Oh.
Everything were just shades of brown. The coffee was a local. You may not realize this, but indigo was grown in South Carolina, is what they did the color blue on. The coffee was a local brew served at the Maxwell House, one of Nashville's hotels. Within a decade, Maxwell House Coffee began using the slogan to turn the coffee into a powerhouse national brand. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, Paul Harvey ain't got nothing on Bulldog Nation.
Now, did he get a check for that phrase? Did
Hell
he get
no.
anything?
Hell no. He didn't have the Bulldog for a lawyer. And remember, if you need a lawyer, email me at eric@ericdeters.com or text me at 859-250-2527.
Don't miss that one.
Are you ready for a feel-good song?
Yes.
And you know what? I want to dedicate this song to my friends, TC, Sensible Don, Jacob the video guy, and the girls that aren't here.
And the cleavage is missing.
Typical women, they're late.
Always.
This is the Turtles. This goes out to Ross, who hates our old songs. This is 1967, Ross, before you were born.
We're playing this on vinyl.
And we're playing this on vinyl. We're spinning it. Here, we'll let Jacob capture it on video here.
Yeah, Yes, that's digital vinyl.
That's
rock band, isn't it?
Hey, we ought to sing what was that song that we sang the other day?
I don't know. It's a good one, though. We should have made a record.
We should have recorded it. This is for you guys. Every day, every week. I mean, I guarantee you, when I go in this programming meeting now, Schloy, after he dogs us, says he demanded, Bulldog, you got to do a weekly meeting with the program director. Hell, they're probably going to start doing air checks on me. Anyway, I'm telling you guys, every day I go in there, Rob's going to want to fire you guys, and I got your back. Because when they say, Bulldog,
Thanks.
it's either you or them, I'm going to say, well, then I quit. I just want you all to know that I will go down with you all.
You go, I go.
Because we're happy together. I got to ask you all a question. If you all are sitting around and you're going to make up a name for your band, okay, like we're going to have a band one day. By the way, you ought to see the pictures that my stepson took of the Mark and me and Chuck Holbrook band out on the roof. They're pretty good. Anyway, you're sitting around and you say, hey, what are we going to call ourselves? The Turtles. Are you kidding me?
We do
Because
better
the
than
Beatles was already taken.
Can you do better than hey, what are we going to be? The Bears. The Bears. I mean, how do you come up with a name, the Turtles, for a rock band? I mean, you got to come up with something like Lunatic Fringe.
The Rolling. That's a cool name, isn't it? The Rolling Stones.
The Rolling Stones
That's
is
a cool sounding
hey,
name.
hey, and it just goes to tell you, when you're on LSD, you can come up with a much better name for your band. All right, let's do the Jack Wagons, all right? All right, and all of these things will be revealed as we go through our show. The first Jack Wagon is for painted nails. God help those women if they come in here with painted nails.
They will.
Now, you guys are going to laugh, but I'm telling you, there's a story behind this. The next Jack Wagon, flaming tampons. There's a story behind that.
Don't want to hear it.
The next Jack Wagon, oops. The next Jack Wagon, Jamie Schloy, who wanting us to show smut, and for dogging us with John Keysweater of the Inquirer. Hey, by the way, John Keysweater, newsflash, Joe Frederick got fired yesterday. Fired by your brother. That's harsh, man. By the way, though, we stay out of their business now. We have created detente with the Death Star. We are at peace with the Death Star. Why? Because we're better than them anyway.
In the mafia, sometimes.
Well, we have a mafia, the Bulldog Mafia.
Well, I mean, like,
By the way, ladies, if you ever get here, I'm going to give you your gift.
But we're the good mafia.
We're the good mafia.
The bad mafia.
We're a mafia that doesn't commit crimes. We just send Chuck.
To prove yourself, they'll give a guy a gun and tell him to take out his brother.
Yeah, right.
So,
You're right.
To show that you're cold-hearted. So.
And just to let everybody know, you've heard me say this before, I do my best work when I'm slap happy. I am so far freaking past slap happy. I worked from 12:30 a.m. yesterday morning all the way till 2 o'clock this morning, 26 hours straight. I have had no sleep, and I am gone.
Off the medication.
I am stoned in tiredness. The next Jack Wagon, and all these are going to be revealed. Marianne, I'm a wench Gingrich. Juan, I'm a black man on Fox News Williams. And Glenn, nobody watches me anymore, Beck. Is that enough Jack Wagons? Now, the oracles for the day are going to be, and these are all going to be revealed on the show, the Cayman Islands. Ron burned down the Fed Paul. Michael Savage. And we're going to be his agents, his sidekicks. We're going to take him syndication. We're beautiful, we're smart, and we're always late. Lori Taylor and Tina Morawski. How do you like that? Our female co-host has got a sidekick. Are you ready for some pop culture?
Yes, we are.
We love pop culture around here. Why? And by the way, just so you know, we do pop culture not because we honor it, because we realize it's a messed up world out there.
Gotta laugh.
According to Martha Stewart, per my wife, this is why I think there's a thaw. She's giving me material. Women have been painting their nails since 3000 BC, and they use pistachio shells as fake nails. You know what I got to say to that?
I'm listening.
Grammys are February 12th, and guess who they got to host, Sensible Don?
Who?
LL Cool J.
Cool J.
You know what? If I didn't have the name
Cool J.
If I didn't have the name Bulldog, I'd want to be like KK Cool D.
No, you can't be KK.
No, not K.
No.
Not K.
Controversial. There's a controversial app out right now, which is beyond hilarious. There's an app out now called Avoid the Ghetto.
What
it steers you away from ghettos. And the NAACP is mad. Now, Sensible Don, as a black man, what is wrong with an app that says avoid the ghetto? For example, I'm going to come out now. We're already working on it. Carrie Brown's working on it. We're going to come out, avoid white trash.
That's right. But the app, avoid the ghetto. My wife and I be riding around sometime. We look up, what are these white folks doing over here? Why are they
avoid because they don't have the app.
They be lost. They lost.
All right, American Idol is back. It was on last night. It's on tonight. Sorry, America. I have better television to watch. You know what I think I'm becoming? I've coined a new phrase.
I'm listening.
A patriotic elitist. I'm an elitist, but not a bad elitist. Alaska dog races. I thought they were tough in Alaska. Canceled because of too much snow and too cold.
Snow in Alaska?
You have a dog race in Alaska. And there's too much snow.
And too cold.
Explain to me, did not the dog races start because there was too much snow and they needed to get medicine from one point to the other?
I don't know.
Where's Balto? Balco can make that run.
You're right. Where is Balco? Where is Balco?
That was a song. That was her singing.
Sing Balco. Where is Balco? Where is Balco? Here I am. Here I am. I can run the race. I can run the race.
Let's go do it.
Let's go do it. Good job, Sensible Don. Head for sale. The photo of a human head, which was found in Hollywood by a dog, is being shopped around for money. Only in America.
Only in America.
When we return, we have 3 more pop culture items. Guys, we're rolling today.
No doubt about it.
See what I can do with no sleep? Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, if I drop dead on air, it'll be good for ratings.
That's right, I got it.
On Real Talk 1160. Raising a little hell. Keep it going there, TC. On Real Talk 1160, this is the Bulldog. Women. Let me see. Let's do the sales pitch here. Lori Taylor claims that she's a big hotshot social networking genius from L.A., based here in Cincinnati. Tina Morawski is her sidekick, and they can't find 675 West 7th Street, the Channel 19 building, Don. You know what? All talk, no walk.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is. Boy, we're going to have a surprise for them when they get here, if they ever do get here. Mark Wahlberg, this is more pop culture. He says he would have killed the terrorists and landed the plane if he was on the 9/11 planes with his kids. And somehow he got attacked for this, and he apologized. You know what? That's BS. Not me. I'm going to tell you right now. That's the attitude that you got to have. I mean, my attitude would be if I was on one of those planes, I would have left some terrorists in my wake, and I would have saved the day.
We going down?
Hello, Patty Euclid. You know what? But he's apologized. I say, why apologize?
What?
OJ. I'm going to give you 4 words. OJ, Florida, house, foreclosure.
They taking OJ's house.
They're taking his
Oh, they're
house.
not. How do you get OJ's house?
OJ's in prison. He probably said, I'm not going to pay that damn mortgage anymore. Deion Sanders, boy, I called this, didn't I?
I'm listening.
Yesterday, remember his wife attacked him? Yesterday, his lawyer says, yep, it's good old extortion. Let's see what we can get out of. And you know what? They're not going to break that prenup.
And the game's big.
Can you say skank?
Okay, when I was on the phone just now with Tina, you must have been saying something because every time I would give her direction, then I'd hear her make a response, some sort of comment. What did you say just a few minutes ago?
I said that they act like they're big shot professional women that know everything, and they can't even find a radio station.
We are going to have
And by the way, not just any radio
today.
station, a radio station with one of the network television, so they're in trouble. Oh, we got our little bits here. I mean, you know, the guy with the microphone always wins.
This is going to be so.
All talk, no walk.
All talk, no walk. Now, how about some sports? Are you ready for some sports?
Oh, yes, we are.
Tim Tebow, beginning of the 3rd quarter, and by the way, so everybody knows, all you Patriot fans, this is why they lost. He had torn cartilage on his first rib, bruised his lung, and fluid in his pleural cavity, that's lungs, and he didn't come out of the game.
Kept on playing.
Wow.
Eli Manning has a stomach illness. I hope he has food poisoning and plays like crap. Then he can heal up and live happily ever after later.
Okay.
Tom, I'm a wimp sack Brady, didn't practice yesterday either. The Reds signed Homer Bailey for 1 year for $2.4 million. Oh, I say this, why? We just keep waiting for Homer to have a good year. Can you imagine getting paid $2.4 million after 5 years of maybe having a good year?
And they still waiting.
College round ball. Down go the Huskies. The Bearcats win 70-67. Nebraska take out the Hoosiers. The Cornhuskers take out the Hoosiers 70-69. Xavier beats St. Joseph 68-55. And Miami Redhawks, who should be called the Redskins, loses the Bowling Green 65-57. I apologize for the light sports, but guess what? Nothing was going on.
Hey, there's a major story.
Major story. What's that?
Talawanda girls JV team won last night. They beat Northwest.
Well, you know what they need?
Yeah.
Oracle status.
It's a great game.
Hey, did you got that one song that I asked for about smoking? Do you got that song yet?
About smoking?
I sent you a text message. Smoking in the boys' room. Did you get that one?
No, I got
well,
the
will
one
you get
about
on job and get the smoke in the boys' room? Okay, now general news. Flaming tampons. You wondered why I did a jackwagon.
Come back with that.
Two young adult, well, actually an adult man and a woman. You know, they look like criminals. You know what? When they do those pictures, they look like heroin addicts. They look like heroin addicts. On January 7th in Pennsylvania, tried to burn up a car by placing flaming tampons in the gas tank.
Too many
Sensible
movies.
Don, the question that I pose for you.
I'm listening.
Have you ever used flaming tampons for any purpose?
Not in this lifetime. Not in this lifetime.
Have you? Pac-Man Jones is guilty of disorderly conduct. He gets probation. I-75 improvements delayed. Money. What a surprise. And then finally, on the local news front, remember, we don't cover all the killings. Have you ever, this kid obviously has never watched Smokey the Bear. You know, what does Smokey Bear say? You don't play with matches and you don't start forest fires.
Right.
All right. Well, guess what? A sixth grader, 12 years old, started a fire yesterday at Connor Middle School. Now,
in the bathroom.
It's been a tradition. You smoke. High schoolers smoke.
Right.
Now, instead of kids smoking in the boys' room, we have 12-year-olds starting fires. What's the world coming to, Don?
Going downhill in that handbasket that we don't make here.
You know what? What the hell happened in the 80s? When I look at the Motley Crue hair bands and their hair, what kind of women were their groupies? That's all I got to say.
That's a real
Patty
good
Euclid
point.
says, women like me.
We all had big hair in the 80s, didn't we?
Jeez,
we all had
OP.
hair.
Not
in the
me.
80s.
I was a clean-cut young man.
Not me.
By the way, they put up on Facebook. This is a new thing we're doing on Facebook. Old pictures of me. They put up this Facebook picture of me at 19, and I had my karate T-shirt on, Cheetaroo, and I was in fact, I can tell you right now, 19, I might have been in the best shape of my life. I was working on a farm. I was doing karate 2 hours a night, 3 days a week. I was lifting weights. I was running. I could do the splits. I mean, but I saw my picture yesterday, and I said to myself, I could kick my ass in that picture. In other words, the Bulldog of today could still kick that guy's butt.
The 19-year-old.
Well, you're wiser now.
You know what? Old age and treachery always beats youth and exuberance.
Well, I got a
Exactly.
sports prediction.
I can't get these flaming tampons off my mind.
I can.
I got a sports prediction before we leave sports.
All right, go ahead.
Your boy Pac-Man Jones,
Pac-Man Jones.
first year out of football, he will be in prison.
Yeah, I think so. He's doomed.
You better hire you now.
You know, the TSA denied they strip search old Granny Zimmerman 85 and Ruth Sherman 89. Now they've come out and said they admit it. Granny Zimmerman and Ruth Sherman, 859-250-2527. Eric at ericdeters.com. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Let's do world news real quick before the ladies get here. You think the ladies will get here before our show's over?
No,
I don't think so. The U.S. ambassador to China, Gary Locke, says China's politically unstable, that the people aren't happy. He calls it very delicate. And I'm not going to believe I'm doing this. I'm quoting an NPR interview. Iran, they threatened to torpedo our carrier. You know what I'd do? I'd drop one down their smokestack downtown Tehran.
Right now.
I'm a war hawk, selective. No massive ground troop war, Reagan style. Meanwhile, an Iranian lawmaker says they have a letter from Obama wanting to talk. Obama's team denies it. In this letter, this apparently is written, Dear Ahmadinejad,
I need a job.
I still think that we should talk. I have never shared this with anybody, but I love Iran, and I think if you and I would sit down for a beer summit and hold hands and reminisce about the good old days between Iran hostage taking and us having to bomb you, everything would be better. Obama denies the letter. Ladies and gentlemen of the American jury, the two women have finally arrived.
They're here?
They're here. They finally made it. They're only 45 minutes late.
Oh, Oh, we had 3 standing there.
Are you ready for some pop? Well, we got to save some of this stuff for politics.
We never finished our pop culture, remember? Didn't we have some more stuff?
While you were doing what you were doing, we finished pop culture.
did.
Well, I was trying to get
We
them
did
here.
Mark Wahlberg.
Okay, what did he do?
He said that if he was on those 9/11 planes, he would have left a path of blood and landed the plane. And he got criticized for it. And I say
he
BS.
apologized. Yeah.
And then Deion Sanders came out firing back at his skank wife.
The games began.
And then OJ's losing.
He was defending his membership?
Yeah, and OJ is losing his house.
Yeah, I heard about
Florida.
that. Well, he doesn't really need it anymore.
He has a house.
Hey,
Let
let me.
He's a guest of the state.
Let me explain why I'm going to jack wagon up Glenn Beck. Now, this is a true story, and I get sick and tired. Of him always bashing TR. He can bash Woodrow Wilson all he wants. You know, Glenn Beck's a big fat guy, you know. He's out of shape. Andrew Jackson fought 22 duels. Beck, have you ever fought a duel with George Soros? No. Would you fight George Soros in a duel? No. All right, well, anyway, I got the guts to jack wagon up. Now, he brought up this issue. On Bill O'Reilly last night, he goes, well, you know, I cannot believe that Newt Gingrich invoked Andrew Jackson because Andrew Jackson, you know, was mean to the Indians. Hey, Glenn Beck, you think you love history? Why don't you go through your little history book there and check out George Washington, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson. Yeah, Glenn Beck, I'm naming them in order. James Madison, James Monroe, John Quincy Adams, Andrew Jackson, Martin Van Buren, on and on and on. How they all treated the Indians.
Everyone.
Now, Andrew Jackson treated them bad. But let me tell you something, Becko. They all did. Now, it gets even better. Guess what, Glenn Beck? Name the last United States president that left office with no debt, Mr. Beck. Ding, 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 ding. Andrew Jackson. When he left office, we had no national debt. Guess what, Mr. Beck? Nobody watches you anymore on your stupid cable show. Guess what? Guess what? Andrew Jackson? He took down the Second National Bank. Nicholas Biddle was corrupt. It's like the Fed of the day. The Second National Bank was like the Fed. Andrew Jackson took on the Second National Bank and took them down. You know what Andrew Jackson supported? State banks all over the place. Wouldn't it be great if we had state banks everywhere and banks that weren't too big to fail?
Called competition.
So take that. Oh, and in fact, he was also a unionist and held the Union together, or the Civil War would have been 40 years earlier. Hey, guess what else, Glenn Beck? Do you like the beaches of Florida? He took Florida from the Spaniards. Don't ever talk bad about Andrew Jackson, Glenn Beck. When we come back, we'll have a couple women on it strolled in here. We don't know what they're here for, but we'll see what we can do. On Real Talk 1160.
Real Talk 1160 with Laura Ingram, 9 to noon today. And now back to the Bulldog.
This is the Bulldog, Eric Deters on Real Talk 1160. Joining us in the studio is Lori Taylor. And also joining us in the studio is her sidekick, Tina Morawski. What? Oh, yeah. Thank you for that reminder. We just want you all to know for being late. You guys are on double secret probation. You don't have your ears muffled.
They're going to need headphones, yeah.
You don't even have the headphones on.
Like, what's happening?
Put your headphones on. There you go. Put your headphones on.
See,
you
the way
talk
it
right
works
in the
is the
microphone.
train moves, not the
You
station.
got to talk right on the microphone. Well, Lori Taylor, welcome to Bulldog Nation Radio here on Real Talk 1160.
Glad to be here. Glad to finally found ya. We've been circling and circling.
Who was in charge of direction, Tina Morawski or you?
Tina.
Tina. I think based on Tina.
Do we have a truck going over Tina's forehead? Boom, boom. Beep, beep, back it up.
I need to know, can they say GPS?
Well, listen.
Yeah. That thing's a liar.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you a story. I went down to Florida on a case with a client, and we got to Orlando International Airport, and we got a rental car. She had some money. We got a Cadillac. We got a GPS. It was freaking Spanish GPS. When we got back to the airport and said we weren't able to use this, it was in Spanish. The guy goes, "Well, you look like you knew Spanish." True story.
Why? Because we look so confused.
Now, let me tell you what we do on the radio, and we have guests. We just kind of roll with it. So we do our show, and you're free to comment on it. We don't put you on the spot with having to carry any water. You got that? So feel free to comment on what we're going to do here today. Now, the first one, I'd be interested in your comments. Marianne Gingrich, who is the second wife of Newt, who apparently he cheated on his first wife, did an interview with ABC. They weren't going to air it. They were going to air it. They finally decided that they're going to air it tonight on Nightline. It was an interview with Brian Ross where she apparently dogs Newt and says it's going to destroy him and everything else. Lori, as a woman, you're married, correct?
Yes.
All right. Don't you agree that the voters should not listen to a damn thing what an ex-wife has to say?
Yeah, well, what I think is the ex-wife shouldn't say anything.
There you go. I agree with that.
You gave up your rights.
Discreetness. I agree with that. Let's have some discreetness. Let me see. Mitt with a son named Tag likes the Cayman Islands. I didn't get you to find this song, but I thought we could play Gimme Shelter by Rolling Stones today. Do you guys have anything, Sensible Don, do you have anything against tax shelters in the Cayman Islands? I don't.
If I got $1
I'm
million,
giving them oracle status.
No problem at all.
Do you have any money in the Cayman Islands? If you are, you're not going to tell us, are you?
Listen, my mic.
Newt Gingrich has a plan. He says he's going to win or come close in South Carolina. He wants Rick to quit. But you know, there's one problem. He goes, if the three conservatives all join forces, and he doesn't mention Ron Paul, I'm thinking, Newt, way to piss off all the Ron Paul supporters.
Real conservative.
I mean, they're real conservatives. Have you heard about the latest polls, Lori Taylor?
I'd like to hear him. I'd like to hear your spin on him.
All right, in South Carolina, Mitt with a son named Tag has 33%. Newt, who's been married 3 times, has 23%. Rick with a sweater vest has 16%. Ron burned down the Fed, Paul has 13%, and Oops has 6%. You know who Oops is?
That's what I want to know.
Oops is Rick Perry. Can you play Oops? Now, I don't know if you ever heard this bit from Bill Cosby, but in that famous debate where Rick, I'm a robotic governor of Texas, goes, I want to take out 5 of the shut down 5 of the departments in Washington.
Number 1,
Commerce.
number 2.
Oops. I mean, and you know what, Lori? You are kind of into, I know you're friends with Tony Robbins and all. You're into imaging. Can a man ever recover from ridicule?
No, unless he had Britney Spears come out and start dancing. Oops, I did it again.
Do you have Oops ready for us? Listen to this bit from Bill Cosby. Listen to this.
Doctors make mistakes.
This is dedicated to Oops Perry. Good old Bill Cosby. You gotta love old Bill Cosby.
Brings it into focus.
And in Florida, Mitt with a son named Tag is just blowing the doors off of him. National poll, Newt, who's been married 3 times, has closed the gap. It's only 30 to 27%. Rick with a sweater vest is down to 15, and Oops has got 4. You know, Oops is last in Florida, last in South Carolina, last in the country, and he still shows up with that microphone and says, in Texas, we in Texas, well, we're in Texas. I swear to God, I just want to slap the guy.
He got lucky in Texas, remember?
Oh, my God, in
Now,
Texas.
the thing with Newt, I don't mind that he's been married 3 times, but I got to question his judgment a little. It's like, I learned my lesson after the first time,
Now I got to ask you guys a question. This is really important. What's your thoughts on a Barack Obama, Lori Taylor?
Oh, wow. That's a way to start the morning. Thoughts on, and I mean, that's a broad question as far as do I think he's good at basketball or do I think he has a great trainer for his wife? Have you seen her biceps, man? It's like, boom.
He's got a nice 3.
Man, I wouldn't want to make Michelle Obama mad.
No.
I don't care what she is. She is an angry black woman.
Regardless, she can back it
Black,
up.
white, it doesn't matter.
cut.
She's angry.
She's not angry. She just came back from Hawaii.
Now, I just want to tell you something. A lot of my callers, a lot of Bulldog Nation, a lot of people on the radio talk, they get confused because they listen to my show and they don't really know where I stand on Barack Obama. And I just want to clear something up. Obama killed the XL pipeline yesterday, and he blamed the Republicans, and I just want everybody to know. So I want to make this perfectly clear because there's some confusion of what I feel about Barack Obama. I loathe our lying, socialist, Islamic, America-destroying, job-blocking, race-baiting, power-grabbing, food stamp distributing, Michelle cowering, community organizing, basketball playing, cigarette smoking, foreign-born, secretive, hypocritical, jackwagon, wimp sack, underserving, accidental, worst president of all time.
In the next segment, we'll tell you what you really think about it.
That's all. That's how I feel about him. And by the way, for those of you that think name-calling is petulant or boorish and does no good, I actually checked my blood pressure before I did that and after, and it went down.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you might have even left off a couple of adjectives. I don't disagree with much of that list.
Now, I want to say, this is funny. The Keystone Pipeline, he actually said this yesterday. Keystone Pipeline, a pipeline from Canada all the way down to New Orleans, and you have to sit there and think, my God, the jobs, building the pipeline, all the collateral jobs, transportation, hotels, restaurants, gasoline, you name it. Barack Obama, our president, actually said this about the XL pipeline, and I am not making this up. However many jobs might be generated by a Keystone pipeline, they're going to be a lot fewer than the jobs that are created by extending the payroll tax cut and extending unemployment insurance.
How does that work?
I got to ask you a question, Lori Taylor and Sensible Don. How many jobs have you know has been created by somebody sitting at home drawing an unemployment check?
Well, there's a guy that's got to write it, and a guy's got to mail it, and the mailman doesn't even deliver it on Saturdays anymore, so there you go.
Do you know Barack Obama's own Jobs Council, Sensible Don, say do the Keystone Pipeline?
If you got any sense at all, you want to be president again, you need to do something.
Now, Lori Taylor, you're connected in Hollywood and L.A. Do you know that the Hollywood CEOs who have given a lot of money to Barack Obama because of his position on the piracy law, bottom line, they wanted a law passed to protect them from internet downloads and everything else? Well, all the senators are running from it. Barack Obama came out against it. The Hollywood CEOs have said no more money. What do you think about that? I say good for them.
Well, what I think about that, if you're tying into the SOPA and what's going on there, I mean, yesterday everybody went black. All the internet sites, a lot of my friends are blogs, big ones, shut them down. You could contact your senators because it boils down to some of the laws and things that they're going to put in place under the guise of protecting that, and I am a supporter of not using people's copyrighted materials, and I do think there's a problem. But I think creating such a big rule that affects so many people, and I guess my question would be, with entertainment suffering so bad, the entertainment industry suffering right now, their numbers are down, everything, and the internet's exploding. Why would you feed the beast that's dying and choke the beast that's growing? That's the question I have. So who do you think is making more money right now?
And you know what?
Is it some little kid intern? Your kid comes out of college, he has a better chance of making a buck online than he does there.
And I'm gonna tell you something. If you own something, I'm sorry, you shouldn't be able to download it and not pay for it. I mean,
I agree. I totally agree.
So I support the Hollywood CEOs, even though they make lousy movies these days. When we come back, we're going to have a story about Mr. Oops in Turkey. Oops screwed up again. And I'm also going to get some advice about my wife's birthday on Friday. I want to get a woman's perspective. Will you do that for me?
I'm there for you.
All right.
Wingman.
On Real Talk 1160. Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. We got Tina Morawski, Lori Taylor. Sensible Don went to pick up John Bick from Robke Automotive. Before we go into the next topic, I've done this before, and I cannot believe this speech has never found itself on the national scene. It's the best political speech of all time. And I got this book. We're going to do video casts. It's Lend Me Your Ears, Great Speeches in History by William Safire. I know a lot of you are sitting around saying, is the Bulldog going to read us a boring speech? Well, just sit back and relax. Hey, John, just hold on to the next break, buddy. Just hold on to the next break. We'll figure out how we get you in here. Anyway, that's John Bick from Robke Automotive. This is a speech given in the 1950s by Judge Noah Sweat of Mississippi, and it was so good, it was trademarked. So enjoy. And I'm going to do it in character. My friends, I had not intended to discuss this controversial subject at this particular time. However, I want you to know that I do not shun controversy. On the contrary, I will take a stand on any issue at any time, regardless of how fraught with controversy it might be. You have asked me how I feel about whiskey. All right, here is how I feel about whiskey. If when you say whiskey, you mean the devil's brew, the poison scourge, the bloody monster that defiles innocence, dethrones reason, destroys the home, creates misery and poverty, yea, literally takes the bread from the mouths of little children. If you mean the evil drink that topples the Christian man and woman from the pinnacle of righteous, gracious living into the bottomless pit of degradation and despair and shame and helplessness and hopelessness, then certainly I'm against it. But if when you say whiskey, you mean the oil of conversation, the philosophic wine, the ale that is consumed when good fellows get together, that puts a song in the hearts and laughter on the lips and the warm glow of contentment in their eyes. If you mean Christmas cheer, if you mean the stimulating drink that puts the spring into the old gentleman's step on a frosty, crispy morning, if you mean the drink that enables a man to magnify his joy and his happiness and to forget, if only for a little while, life's great tragedies, heartaches, and sorrows. If you mean the drink, the sale of which pours into our treasuries untold millions of dollars, which are used to provide tender care for our little crippled children, the blind, the deaf, the dumb, our pitiful aged and infirm, to build highways and hospitals and schools, then certainly I am for it. This is my stand. I will not retreat from it. I will not compromise.
Whiskey.
You're not supposed to say that. It sounds dumb.
Is that not the greatest political speech of all time?
That speech is making me thirsty.
I mean, he proves a good politician can take a good stand and straddle it. If you know what I mean.
This depends on what you mean, what I think.
Now, let me tell you, Lori Taylor, you are somewhere affiliated with the show Cops. Explain that to the ladies and gentlemen of the American jury. Explain that to the ladies and gentlemen of the American jury. You got to just stay on the microphone. That's all he's saying.
Yeah, just grab that. Yeah, grab a hold of that thing, lower it down, get comfortable. There you go.
Okay.
You can't talk back like it's bad.
I'm a rookie.
You're a rookie. It's okay.
I'm a rookie.
What's your role with the show The Cops?
What do I do for the show Cops?
Yes.
We are having a blast. My job was to help they have fans get excited online. And they had
I want to ask for an explanation and get excited online.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
That works
Continue.
for them too.
Continue.
It's a raunchy little crowd. We like them. But they're very, very strong fans. And we started a page for them at Facebook. We're up over 600,000 fans now. Anytime we put a picture, do anything, they go crazy. We're getting ready to run a super fun promotion where it's our Super Bowl promotion, so they have to upload a video and tell us why they're the Cops' #1 fan, and they win like a ginormous TV.
I feel a little bit like Noah Sweat on the issue of law enforcement. Here's why. I respect cops for this reason. A, they don't make any money. B, they got lousy hours. 3, they got to fill out a lot of paperwork every single day. They got to put up with the political BS from their departments. It's a pretty thankless job. And the police departments I really, really respect are the inner city police departments, like around here, Cincinnati, Newport, Covington. I mean, they really risk their lives. I kind of got a pet peeve with some of our suburban police departments. I think a lot of them are sitting around waiting for something bad to happen. But I do cases against police that do misconduct. But at the same time, I represent a lot of police officers. I have a lot of police officers who are friends. One time I rode with my brother-in-law, Corky. He was a Boone County police officer, and I rode with him one night. True story. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. He did the night shift. And he gets a call down to Petersburg. And we go down there, and he's told that there's somebody with a gun wanting to kill everybody and everything else. We pull up to this house, and out the back door of this house, goes somebody with an army coat running full speed, like running away from the house. I mean, just running. Corky takes off after him. I'm like 100 feet behind Corky, you know. This guy stops, turns around, and levels his gun at Corky. Corky pulls his pistol out, and he's got his gun drawn on this guy. And this guy is clearly completely out of it. Corky said, "What are you doing?" Now, I told Corky, I said, "Why didn't you shoot the guy?" He turns around the gun. I would have shot him. Corky didn't. The guy says, "I got to go down the woods. The Viet Cong are coming. The Viet Cong are coming." The guy was obviously out of his mind. Corky never shot him. He arrested him. I don't know what we arrested him for, but it showed great restraint. But I told Corky, I said, my God, if he shot you, what the hell was I supposed to do? Run and get in the cruiser and take off, I guess. But it's pretty fun to ride with cops.
No, it's pretty crazy, the stuff they see. I mean, they record a lot of stuff that doesn't get on the show. If you go to their YouTube channel, this is kind of an interesting story. I think you'll dig it. So John Langley, when he went and sold the show to Fox back in the 80s, had a big idea. He's a visionary. He says, let's take all the back stuff, the stuff that doesn't get approved, and we can't put on TV, and let's make a VHS tape and sell it. And Fox laughed at him, said no one would ever buy that. Yes, he was wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong.
So now they can distribute it, all this stuff that's on TV. So it's on their YouTube channel, which is Cops Too Hot for TV, with a 2 and a 4.
You know, in this business, in book publishing, in the movies, in radio, in television, whatever the thing, Tracy Jones, my buddy from over the Death Star, told me, to go anywhere, you got to find somebody who likes you. Because, there's rejections, you got to have somebody that knows somebody that gets to a decision maker, and you got to find a decision maker that likes you. I mean, when I think about the number of books that are written by countless people, they're probably pretty good. What? Screenplays, whatever. The key is you got to know somebody. Sad but true. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. And I see some of the movies that are made, and I think, wow, that's a really good movie. In other movies, I think, why did they make that movie? But you got to know somebody. You got to know somebody.
Well, and it's not that. I think what people forget is, I think they think it's like a field of dreams or something. You go there, show up, and it happens, and you find that, oh, yeah, my friend got me the meeting. It's the pitch. It's a pitch. You got to pitch that. Gary Goldstein tells a story about how he pitched Mothman Prophecies. He's the producer of Pretty Woman, and he wanted to do Kevin Costner's movie. I think he was in it. Who was in that? Mothman Prophecies, a big movie.
Mothman. It was Richard Gere.
Richard Gere.
By the way, it was a good movie.
Yeah, and the whole thing for Gary is this is a cool story. He went to 3 studios, and they all passed, right? And so when he went to the 4th studio, and he decided, Bulldog, did what you would do. BS. I'm going to go. This movie needs to be produced. And he saw the vision. So he went in there and he pulled a favor, got a meeting with people he knew, sat down with them. This is cool. And he goes, they said, why are you in here? We said, we passed on your pass. And he goes, we're passing. And Gary looks at me and goes, I'm passing on your pass. And they're like, what?
I got so many ideas. In fact, I write them down for movies. Let me give you an idea. I'm going to tell you a history story that you've never heard of before, and I just want you to tell me if you think this would be a great movie. In 1868, after the Civil War, a bunch of drunk Irishmen in a Buffalo bar decided they were going to invade Canada, conquer Canada, and hold Canada hostage until Britain freed Ireland, okay? So about 1,000 Irishmen invade Canada. They cross Lake Erie. They go into Canada. The Canadian Mounties stop them at what's called Limestone Ridge, shoot them, beat them up. They retreat. All the drunk Irishmen come back across Lake Erie back to Buffalo. The United States government tries these Irishmen for treason. They are defended by no one else other than future President Grover Cleveland, and they're found not guilty. This was the first and only time in American history that some private citizens invaded a country. Now, you tell me that you couldn't make that story. You could make it a comedy.
Yeah.
You could make it a comedy. You could make it an historical documentary. You know what I'm saying? And that's a true story. I shared with you the Pioneer Spirit story about the basketball team in 1980 and 81. Now, why couldn't that be a movie? Now, how much time before break?
Coming up in about 30 seconds.
Well, when we come back from the break, I'm going to finally get you some advice from you about my wife's birthday coming up. I want a female perspective.
All right.
All right. We come back, more Radio Superbity. We'll have John Bick in here, who's probably going to drop us from advertising because you guys are sitting in his chair. But you know what? I anticipate this. I got a 4th microphone, but the 4th microphone isn't working yet. When we come back, more Radio Superbity on Real Talk 1160.
Real Talk 1160 is on Facebook. You can keep tabs of your favorite talk show hosts and listen to live streaming. Remember, you are part of the conversation, so log on to facebook.com/Real Talk 1160 and join in. And now, back to the Bulldog.
Eric Deters, the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. Joining us in studio now is John Bick from Rupke Automotive.
Yeah.
John, what do you think of the ornaments we have in the studio today?
It's very nice decoration, yeah.
All right. I want to thank Pee-wee's. I like Pee-wee. I know Pee-wee. Tim Pee-wee Reese. He's a good friend of mine and Jeff Piccaro's. He's going to start doing some radio ads here at the radio station and also supply us breakfast, apparently, today. So we want to thank Pee Wee. Welcome aboard to Real Talk 1160. I forgot.
Baseball player?
No.
Pee Wee Reese?
No, this is Pee. Yeah, same name, actually. I want to just point out a few things before we get the guests back involved. Food stamp recipients, 2008, 32 million. 2012, 46 million. That's nearly a 50% increase. Yes, Newt, you're right. He's the food stamp president. Mr. Oops in Turkey. At the debate the other night, Oops Perry said Turkey is its leaders are Islamic terrorists. Completely untrue. They're a moderate country. I mean, you believe it? Oops. I'm sorry about that. Sorry, Turkey.
Oops, I did it again. About to call him Brittany.
Oops, I did it again. Tonight, CNN's debate, they're going to let them rip it and roar, baby. Kane, we now know what the kind of unorthodox. He and Stephen Colbert are having a press conference in South Carolina. Sensible Don.
He's endorsing Stephen Colbert.
He's going to endorse Stephen Colbert. Now, Lori Taylor, this is pretty cool. And Sensible Don and TC are kind of like my coaches, and they say that I need to talk more about myself. I need to speak up more. I need to do more promotion. And I'm trying to listen to him.
No, that was possible.
And since I knew.
So God added an hour in the day. Bulldog now got everyone 25 hours in a day.
In my defense, my radio mentor is Willie. You can understand a little bit, all right? Anyway, there is a service called the Martindale-Hubbell, and Martindale-Hubbell ranks lawyers and everything else, and there is 1,400,000 lawyers in this country. Now you know why the country's screwed up, Lori Taylor. But at least one time, and I did this was like for over a full week, they have what's called lawyer profiles, where people go and they check out your profile, and there's rankings. At the time, there was only 1,142,000 lawyers, and I'm trying to look for the date on this. It was last year. How cool is it that in a moment in time, out of over 1 million lawyers, I was the #1 ranked lawyer profile that people went to check them out in the entire damn country, all the way from the 38th largest city, Cincinnati.
Now,
that's
impressive.
written proof.
That is written proof.
That Terry.
I'm looking at
that
it.
Terry woman, I want you to send that to her.
I'm going to send that to Terry.
Now
I'm going to frame it, send it. I might have somebody sing it to her.
And make it clear you practice law in Florida and New York.
By the way, when Tina Morawski introduced me to Lori Taylor, she said that she's a female you, and I didn't believe it till I met her. And Sensible Don, if you ever wanted to meet a female me, it's right there.
I won't take it personally.
You should.
Now, I got to ask, my wife's birthday is coming up this Friday. Now, here's my question for you guys. I've already bought her a birthday present. Her birthday present is a trip to Florida where she's going to visit her mom and dad who went her down there, okay? So that's what she wanted. Now, do I have to buy her like another gift to open on Friday, or is that good enough? What is the female Tina Morawski shaking her head. Hell no. Hell no. So, Lori, what should I do? Sensible Don. Well, we'll go Sensible Don first. What should I do?
You should be in Florida with her. That's the gift she wants.
Oh, my God. He's smart. Thanks, Don. Thanks, Don.
I hate to tell you that.
By the way, she might be listening because she texted me and said she misses me, so
right.
I could be sanctioned. John Bick, what should I do?
I think you should get something to go along with it. I mean, that would go down on a trip, like a new bathing suit, bikini, whatever she would look good in.
No, he can do that. He'll feel somebody see her in it. No, he can do that.
Speaking of bikinis.
There you go.
Speaking of bikinis. Do you understand why I fell in love with her, John Bick?
I'm in love with her.
Yes, I do.
I want to be her. I'm like, holy moly.
Now, look,
Are you going with her, or is she going by herself?
Did you get that video, guy? Now, this is, you know when I told you about the YMCA story, Sensible Don?
Yes.
That's what she looked like during YMCA story.
And that's why she was
on the left.
Your
now,
head,
this is just a couple years ago. Now, by the way, she doesn't really have a tattoo. This is her today. Now, everybody always wonders, like, now, I think she hates radio. She hates that I do radio. But there's a thaw, and I keep telling her that we would break some records if she would come on. So, Lori, you're the last one that I'm going to ask. Should I get her something else, or should I say a trip to Florida is enough?
Yeah, well, see, you're talking to a Leo, and
by the way, folks, I'm a Leo too. You see what I mean?
Okay, all right.
Explains a lot.
And, I like to support my girls, whether I know them personally or I know of them. And I like this girl. I heard a lot about her. She's beautiful. And I like my birthday to be celebrated, like, for a few days. I like it, like, I thought it was awesome that my mom did what she got me here, and I kind of like a whole birthday thing.
Kind of like we do for our kids these days. It
Yes.
used to be for our birthday, my mom fixed us what we wanted, fixed us the chocolate cake, gave us one present, it was over. Our kids have like weeks of birthdays.
Now, you can't go down there that day. You can't go down there.
Nah, maybe I should. But I'm going to buy her, you know what she likes? Tiffany's, and I like Tiffany's. So I think I'm going to go buy her something from Tiffany's.
Well, yeah, definitely buy her from something from Tiffany's. You can have it delivered that day in a cool way.
Idea.
So it shows up that day with some flowers. But what probably would be the coolest thing is if you showed up that day with the flowers and the Tiffany thing.
Tell him again, Lori, what Don just told you.
I'm just telling you.
I'm here to back you up, Bulldog. Alex and I will take care of your back. The knife will be deep in your back.
You know what? My wife has it made. Our anniversary is December the 11th. Okay, then we got Christmas. Then her birthday's January 20th. And then it's Valentine's Day. I'm broke by February the 15th, Lori Taylor. I am broke. Now, by the way, Friday we are going to Jeff Ruby's. By the way, Jeff Ruby himself. I've never publicly said anything bad about him. He's never said anything publicly bad about me. He's not my kind of guy, a little too swanky for me. But I will give it up to Jeff Ruby.
Oh, yeah, on his food.
Jeff Ruby's in downtown, with all due respect to the precinct, is my favorite restaurant. And we have a tradition of going there on our anniversary, and we're going to go there Friday on our birthday. My daughter, Charlie Ann, got us a gift certificate there because she watches Riley every Monday and Thursday, my granddaughter. But anyway, we are going to go to Jeff Ruby's. I got to tell you guys a funny story. I know I do TMI, too much information, but I do that on purpose to bond with the audience. The first couple years we went to Jeff Ruby's for our anniversary, they've reduced the portions. They used to give you a steak bigger than that hat.
I know.
You mentioned in the potatoes. So we went and we ordered and we ate the whole thing. The first 2 years, I swear to goodness, on the way home, we both had to do emergency stops. Once, we got off 275 to Kentucky Fried Chicken. The other time it was off 275 to run in the log cabin. We didn't make it home. We had to do a pit stop. We ate too much.
Yeah, and you kind of wonder what that says about you, because that's me. I'm ordering appetizers, and the waiter thinks that's just what we're going to do, and I'm like, no, dude, like, we're just getting warmed up. This is just like appetizers, and because my family don't, appetizers by definition means you get it and you share it, but my family, we don't like to share our food, so everybody has their own appetizer and eats it at the dinner. And I'm not kidding, every single person has their own, at Jeff Ruby's would order it.
Lori, I just want you to know that there's a lot of, Jamie Schloy is the station manager, and Gaither Stevens is the general manager of all the local stations, and John Yinger is the owner of the stations, and the program director is Rob. And it's kind of cool. Despite all of their titles, I actually run this radio station. And what people don't realize is
he just lets them keep their titles.
I just let them keep their titles. And for example, that microphone got installed because of me. But the thing that I was going to tell you is I actually gave Jamie Schloy a jack wagon. And when we come back, I'm going to explain why our station manager...
There's no break. Just your theme song.
Oh, it's our theme song. Okay, my bad.
Party time.
Thank you for saving it. Now, I gave Jamie Schloy a jackwagon for two things. One, he dogged our show for Dave Ramsey. How can you talk for 3 freaking hours about foreclosure, bankruptcies, and debt? Don't you think that we Americans already know we spend too much money? I don't need Dave Ramsey to explain to me that I'm in debt every day. You know what I mean? But anyway.
You missed some, Bulldog.
What?
You brought the TV in here, too.
Yeah, I brought the TV in here. I got the microphone. But Jamie Schloy, the sexual pervert that he is, wanted me to have a sidekick in here that would show cleavage. And I refuse to be that kind of show. I want to be a classy show. So I jackwagoned up the office. But I can do that because I run the radio station. I jackwagoned up Jamie Schloy because he wanted me to. Now, wouldn't that be insulting to you, Lori, to come in here and have to show cleavage to please Jamie Schloy?
Well, it'd just be hard for me to cover it up because, I mean, that's just kind of how I do what I do.
My God.
Just kidding.
Yeah, that's a female
Bingo!
bulldog.
I think we got the female host.
Summertime's coming.
Did you hear that, Jamie
Sometimes
Short?
coming.
Did you hear that, Jamie
Radio's going to video.
See, that's what he said. Because, oh, by the way, here's another thing. See, I bought a fiber optic line so we could do the online streaming podcasting. I'm paying for the video guy. By the way, though, I love the team, and I'm going to be serious here for a minute. John Yinger, Gaither Stevens, Jamie Schloy, and the program director treat me like a king, and I love them, and they love me, and that's why this works.
You missed one thing.
What?
Rocky Automotives have the best peanuts and pop you can get if you want something to eat.
Hey, listen, we have a woman in the studio. The hell with Rocky Automotive today. On Real Talk 1160. Eric Deters, the Bulldog, on Real Talk 1160. My mic on? It doesn't sound like it's on. I'll take your word for it. Is it on? All right, very good.
You are on, you are live, and you are
joining us in studio in replace of John Bick from Rocky Automotive is Pee Wee himself. And just to let you know, we got it on video. Pee Wee is not very Pee Wee. Pee Wee, you got to talk right in that microphone. How are you?
Great.
I haven't seen you for a while. You are in the business that I once was. It's a challenging business, but I want to just help you all that I can. Welcome to Real Talk 1160 family. You're out on 2325 Anderson Road, Crescent Springs, Kentucky. Pee Wee's Place. Daily food specials, covered outdoor patio. And by the way, I'm on your internet email list, so I get all your stuff. You are a good promoter, Pee Wee. So use this airwave to tell us what you want to promote at Pee Wee's.
I just want to get everybody to come by Pee Wee's one time and try
Football.
it. See if you like it.
Football.
No, we're in baseball
football.
now.
You're in baseball?
Yeah, I got a senior at Covenant Catholic, and we're ready for the baseball season. Football's over for us over there.
Are you doing well?
We are surviving. You know what it's like in
It's
this
tough.
restaurant.
It's tough.
Impossible.
It's tough.
And I went into this thing thinking if I got every friend that I knew to stop by once a week, it's easy.
The problem is they don't stop by once a week.
No.
It's just the way it is. Now, I want to stress this. If you live in the Villa Hills, Crescent Springs area, this is a great place. Pee Wee, the challenge of it is the competition. The economy is so difficult. You know, we're the same age. You know that in the 80s and 90s when we were young and we're working, everybody went out after work. Everybody went to a restaurant. Everybody did that. And the casual dining business is rough for you, Taylor.
Well, I think that's also because the way they did that to socialize. Now they can socialize from the comfort of their couch and just eat and be on Facebook and Skype it and do it and da it and that.
Yeah, big screen television. Now, Pee Wee, let me tell you something. I'm friends with John Horvath, who owns Ticket Sports Cafe, but it's far removed from you, so not competitors. You guys can join. I'm doing a comedy show there February 14th on Valentine's Day. It's called Bulldog Nation Raw. I just want to tell you, and I'm being serious, if you got a slow night, like a weekday night that's regularly slow, and I just found out when I did the last show, I prefer raw. You know, drop in the words that you can't say on FCC. It's amazing how you could inject an Al Pacino F word. Makes a joke all the better, Lori Taylor. But anyway, if you want me to do a comedy show at your place once a month, I'll do it. And I'm telling you, I'll bring Bulldog Nation and help you out. And I don't need to be paid.
We'd love to see that. We our biggest thing is we just want people to come in and try our food. We think, if you can tell by looking at me, our food's pretty good.
Now, Pee Wee, what we like to do is just have our guests join in the fun. This is called Life Observation segment, and we have fun with this. A lawyer in my office complained about a certain woman's attitude yesterday, and he sent me this text. Why is she like that? Now, this is an actual text that I sent back. She's sick, stressed, single mom, a B, hates men. Other than that, she's cherry. And you know what? I shared that with the woman.
I didn't know this was a woman empowerment show.
A woman that I was talking about, and she laughed and said, "You're right." On the farm, we used to use that word about trucks, cars, and women. She's cherry. That means she's good.
That's beautiful.
She's good. She's cherry. Willie and Springer on Hannity last night. Great polar opposites. And people don't realize that Springer and Willie are good buddies, and it was funny. All right, now this is a great story. Yesterday, I interviewed 2 lawyers. I need lawyers. If you're a lawyer out there and you want to work for Bulldog, call me. This is hilarious. I interviewed 2 lawyers. One was scheduled at 4 and one at 4:30. The 4 o'clock lawyer got lost. Didn't show up till 4:25 when the 4:30 lawyer showed up. I made a judgment call that I'm going to take the 4:30 lawyer interview because he was on time and I didn't want him to be late. So I interviewed this lawyer, and he was good. I've hired him, all right? And I like to make a joke because I'm not politically correct. I already have a black lawyer in the office, Chris Nevels. Now I have an Asian American lawyer. So I am a diverse law firm for those that want to attack me. You guys speak right in the microphone. Anyway, you keep forgetting that. I could tell you something that's off color to emphasize it.
Yes, you could.
You get the drift. Now,
big microphone.
The second lawyer. Okay, the first lawyer leaves, and I bring in the second lawyer, right? And I'm sitting there talking to him, and he's a little slow. All right, just a little slow. And he's in a suit, and I'm talking to him. And I have to admit, when I went out to the lobby, when I brought him in, I thought I smelled alcohol. I wasn't sure. And I talked to him, and he leaves. And my whole staff comes running to me. They said, he was drunk. I said, was he? Oh, my God, you didn't smell him. And guess what? I said, what? He goes, he left his door in his car open. So a lawyer comes to an interview. A, drunk, lost, leaves his door open, and slurs his speech during the interview.
And you hired him, right?
No, I did not hire him.
Wait a minute. There's a joke there. Lawyer goes to an interview, reeking of alcohol. Eric says, "What's the matter with you?" He says, "I had trouble passing the bar."
TC, we need a green water commercial.
This portion of our show is brought to you by Wow, look at those. Oh, I'm sorry. Green water makes everything else taste better.
That's all he's got today.
You did shut the doors, right, Tina?
Are you familiar with Green Water?
No.
Green Water is a company the three of us started. We figured if Solyndra can get free money from the government, we can have an application. And we got $1 billion of guaranteed money from the government to start Green Water. And all we do is we go to a faucet, fill up our jugs with water, tie it green, and then we sell. Actually, it's a creek. That's why it's called Green Water. We figured if we were like go green, the Obama administration would support us, and it worked. We just said, hey, we got Green Water. How much money do you want?
$1 billion.
$1 billion.
We got $1 billion.
Wait till you hear our Super Bowl commercial.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Hey,
It's gone.
Now, remember what I told you about, like, if you know somebody in the radio business, when I told you off the air that you got to have tact and you don't tell somebody, over and over again for something that's not news? I'm going to make my underboss, Chuck Holbrook, mad. Chuck Holbrook has sent me 15 texts. He wants me to report this news story. So I was going to do it anyway, but I got to make fun of Chuck first. 4 Latonia churches in Covington have been robbed and burglarized over the last few weeks. What kind of person, you know what, you're going to go straight to hell if you burglarize a church. Would you agree?
No, you go to that basement in hell.
The basement in hell. But anyway...
Yeah, it's kind of like that thing if you do that, in prison, like different kinds of people. Like you killed someone, but don't you do anything to a kid, because then you're like real bad, right?
Wait a minute. Chuck says that's breaking news.
Yes, that's what he said.
Somebody had that as a news story last week.
I know. Chuck is breaking the rule.
So is it like that in heaven? Like if you have, are there different levels of criminals in heaven? I mean, hell. You
mean to tell you? You
burn down a church, dude. You're out.
Do you want me to tell you a joke about going to heaven?
No.
I don't usually like jokes, but maybe
the Jew and the black man that went to St. Peter's.
No. I don't think anything good can come out of that, and I think you're going to end up in one of the bad places in hell too.
I've told the joke on air, and everybody laughed.
All right, ring it.
All right,
ring it.
How much time do I got?
Oh, you got plenty of time.
Everybody already knows the joke?
Yeah.
Well, I won't tell the joke again. I'm not going to tell.
Well, they already know about that news story too. So which is it, the old joke or news story?
Well, listen, are you all familiar? Are you all familiar with this app called? Remember, you hear about the app, Stay Away from the Ghetto app? It's an app that keeps you out of the ghetto. Kind of crazy. Well, there's an app that's called Friend Finder, and if you have the app on your phone, they can follow you and they can trace you. Okay. So last night, I think I got tricked. My wife said, "Hey, I'd like you to put this app on your phone in case something ever happens to you. We know where you are, and you can have me, same thing." Yes. So I put this on, and all of a sudden I realized, do you now know Lori Taylor and Sensible Don? I can't go anywhere. My wife will know where I'm at. Behind the eyes, my mom said. That was bad English there. But the bottom line is, my wife can now track me. Now, the good news is I'm always where I'm supposed to be anyway. I got to ask you this. Is there an app that can tell them what you're doing where you are?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
What? I don't want that app.
And your truck is where you.
Wait a minute. You're still married. There must not be.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Now, does your husband have a friend finder app on you?
Yeah, I don't want to know. I want to believe that. I'm like my mom and dad. When I was growing up, I think they knew I did things I shouldn't have, but
You
they
still
were.
wanna know.
As long as I kept it respectable, as long as I didn't roll in
Right.
the house drunk, vomit
Right.
on her couch. She's like, look, just keep it together, fake it all the way to the bedroom, and we're all good. You're 18. We can do this.
I
But,
like
you
that
know,
idea.
so
That's
it's
the way I
like,
parent.
Well, you know,
Steve just got to hold it together.
I'm sitting here
yeah.
reading Lori's eyes. I've been sitting here since the morning started. Reading
Yeah, you're
Lori's
looking at her eyes.
Yeah, she's cute. She's really cute.
Oh,
and
I know, he's sensible guy.
and Tina ain't no slouch. Either.
No,
As
no,
long-
no,
You hear me?
he's a pretty
She was
girl.
sitting next to me.
Pee
She
Wee,
told
what do
my
you think
hand
of the
up.
ornaments?
Beautiful.
But
You got to be right on the microphone.
Yes, sir.
You rookies, I tell you.
every time Bulldog says something off color involving blacks, she look over. Bulldog, don't you see that black man sitting there?
You're making me nervous.
We make TC nervous. Sensible
And I'm more watching that guy. I'm like, he didn't mean it. He didn't mean it.
I don't get nervous.
what the vice president meant to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Pee Wee, we got 1 minute before we kick you out of here and bring back in John Bick from Rocky Automotive. But Pee Wee's on 2325 Anderson Road. You got a website?
Yes, sir. Peewees.com.
I want everybody to support Pee Wee. Go ahead.
Yeah,
By the
yeah,
way, you
but
get
I
an
wanna
endorsement
know.
from Lori Taylor.
Yeah, but I want to know because I'm a foodie, not the fancy foodie. See, who cares about those guys? It's easy. I want to know when people come there, what's the thing they want? Like, I go to a Mexican place, I know I want to get this cheese. I go to El Coyote, I got to have the steak. So what's the thing you
If
think?
you go to a Snappy Tomato Pizza, you want pizza.
The Beast.
What's the beast? Tell me about the beast. Tell
The
me the
Beast
beast.
is from Snappy. We've got the best cheeseburgers and wings you ever had, but tonight is rib night. So if you want some great, great ribs,
Go to Montgomery Inn. I mean Pee Wee's.
God
Go to
love
both. We got two. And if you live in Cincinnati, go to Montgomery Inn. If you live in Villa Hills, go to Pee Wee's.
What
We
time
take
will you
care
be
of
there,
all
Lori?
our
I'll be
people.
there too.
That sounds good. I mean,
Pee Wee,
I believe
seriously,
them.
I'll do a comedy show at your place, free of charge. When we come back, we're going to wrap up this show of Radio Superbity. We want to thank Pee Wee to become part of the Real Talk 1160 family.
Welcome, Pee Wee.
Simon Kitten will host Grand County Friday night. You can check out the game with Steve Jarnagy. The pregame starts at 7:34. Tip-off at 8 o'clock right here on Real Talk 1160. And now, back to the Bulldog.
This is the Bulldog on Real Talk 1160. We're rocking and rolling. We're rocking and rolling. We are a Christian broadcasting station. We are owned by the Christian Broadcasting Corporation. So therefore, we cover the gambit. We do history. We make fun of pop culture. We help Patty Euclid sell advertising to Pee Wee Reese. And John Bick, Ropke Automotive. Are you pleased with the services that we've provided?
It's been outstanding. I actually just had a Bulldog Nation member win our UC tickets that we gave away. It was a great game last week. Justin Schaefer says he talks to you all the time, so shout out to Justin.
Hey, that's awesome, too. When somebody wins something with Ropke, you actually give them the prize?
Oh, absolutely.
This week we had a problem with somebody that won the Washington, D.C. trip didn't get their prize at Real Talk.
Really?
Yeah, we don't give away our prizes. We promote them, and then we don't give them. I'm just teasing.
What
They
the
got
vice
their prize.
president meant to
I'm
say
trying to
was-
make a joke.
What the vice president meant
But
to say
anyway-
was everyone enjoyed their trip.
But we want to say that, I could be a preacher, so if you own a church and you need a good sermon delivered on the Sunday morning pulpit, I'm available, and it'll be clean. But Chuck Holbrook cares about his church deeply, and he is calling in because he wants to solve the crime. So, Chuck Holbrook, you're on Real Talk 1160. Give us a full analysis and report of what's going on in Latonia.
Oh, I appreciate that. First and foremost, it's not an old story. Last week, there were 3 churches
Calm
that
down,
were
Chuck.
broken in
Calm
and
down, Chuck.
vandalized.
Calm down, Chuck.
As of Monday,
Chuck's
there were 4
passionate.
churches,
That's what I
and
like
the
about
fourth church, the fourth church that was broken into was my church.
Okay,
What?
now the
That
fourth-
has become-
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Do you mean that there is a man or a woman out there that's got the nerve to burglarize the underboss of the Bulldog Mafia's church?
That's right. And we got
War.
captains in the Bulldog
It's
Mafia
war.
down there lurking in the shadows at night, every night,
war.
waiting to find some guys that are doing the wrong thing.
We'll bring it. It's war. Chuck,
Yep.
what can we do to help solve this crime?
Oh, we don't need much help. We're going to apprehend them, beat the hell out of them, and then we're not going to report.
Lori Taylor, do you see how we work? We not only have a nation. Remember, Michael Savage, Savage Nation, Bulldog Nation, divisible, liberty and justice for all. But unlike Michael Savage, we have an enforcement arm of our nation called the Bulldog Mafia, and you just tasted a little bit of that. What do you think, Lori Taylor?
Well, I'm just wondering if it's really about the churches, because I didn't realize it was Chuck's church, and maybe they're just jealous because Chuck's so hot. And they're going to just burn down his church. You know what I'm saying?
Can you imagine? Can you imagine somebody burning down John Bick, Tony Soprano's? No, not Tony Soprano's. Silvio. Can you imagine somebody burning down Silvio? Tony, I can't believe they burnt my church down.
Do you know who I am?
Mafia meets Boondock Saints right here.
There you go. In fact, thanks, Chuck. And listen, by the way, I want to show you. This is a little bit. I need, some things kind of sum up what Bulldog Nation is all about, and I want to share this with you, Lori, right here. This is what Bulldog Nation is all about. And guess what? We'll dedicate this to Newt Gingrich. That's the motto of the Bulldog Nation, Lori Taylor. What do you think? Can you be a member?
I like that.
By the way, by the power vested in me as the godfather of the Bulldog Mafia, I bestow upon
King of the world.
I bestow upon you Bulldog Mafia long sleeve T-shirts. Do you like those?
I like them.
I can't believe I'm going to say this on the radio. God, if she's listening, I'm going to get sanctioned.
Yes, you are.
Chuck said I should deliver shirts to you, and we didn't have any because we've given them all away, and I got to order some more. So I actually have given you the only 2 Bulldog Nation shirts that I own. You are going to be wearing long-sleeve T-shirts worn by me. Do not tell your husbands and boyfriends.
Boyfriends.
Well, she's a boy. She's not married. You are.
Tina's not married.
Oh,
now you got him started.
Tina's not married.
Settle down there, Don. You got to be sensible about this now.
I've had a wife for 37 years, but Tina, she's gone.
Hey, what do you think? Oh, isn't that a good-looking
and
T-shirt?
And your wife's thinking that one woman's trash is another woman's treasure.
You know what? He can do anything he wants, and he never gets sanctioned by his wife.
No, she loves me.
I think they're swingers or something. John Bix promotes something at Robke Automotive. You got kicked. See how proud of Euclid is? You're yesterday's news. She brings in the new guy, Tim from Pee Wee Reese's, and she throws you out just like bathwater.
I know. I mean, I can't believe this. I came in expecting to get a full hour of radio, and what I get? 10 minutes.
Oh, by the way, Chuck, we need to get John Bick a Bulldog Mafia shirt, maybe 2, since he sponsors our newsletter and he doesn't have one yet.
Actually, I do. I got one at your Witty and Wise comedy tour. I came down and seen your show. Remember?
That's a Witty and Wise shirt, though. Did you get a Bulldog Mafia shirt?
No, I didn't.
Got to get a Bulldog. Look at this.
I got the hat with the Bulldog on it.
I
want one of those.
We don't self-promote on the radio station.
No, we don't.
We just deliver the news. But every once in a while, we mention some things. Yeah, you got any special deals at Robke Automotive?
Yeah, for another week. We got another week left on the bedliner special. It's $389. It's a spray and scorpion bedliner. It's outstanding. If you've never seen one, we got an example of one in our drive-thru. Stop on by. We'll show you how it works.
What is it, for your truck bed?
For the truck bed, yes.
For us who don't know, I guess it doesn't matter, because if you don't know, you're not going to buy it, so you don't even want to explain it. I got you. I got it. So for all the people who know what he's talking about, you better run down there and get him. And for all the people who don't know, I think you should check it out, because maybe you're falling behind.
And now that you know what it is.
Maybe you're not hip or hot, and you need to go down to Robke's, and you need to go hot yourself up, baby. Yeah.
That's right. You can keep her, by the way.
I think you got your next commercial spokesperson.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
have you fallen behind? Does your son feel cooler than you are? Just go down to Robke. He'll show you all the hottest, newest things for trucks, and you go outside and show the boys, I'm still got it.
I love it. All right, let's wrap this radio show up. Sensible Don, promote yourself and have a final comment for Bulldog Nation.
Sensible Don on Facebook, Sensible Don at yahoo.com. And my final comment is, Lori, have you ever had a salsa egg cheese wrap?
A salsa egg cheese
wrap.
What
a profound question. Here's Lori. Lori, have you ever had a Frisch's Vegetable soup.
No, she might have had it. But about the salsa egg cheese, if you never had one, I got one for you out here.
Oh, I will try
Straight from
anything
Pee-wee.
once
Well,
done.
when you
Oh,
bring it
I
from
have done
Pee-wee's,
worse
the
for
next time you
less.
come in, you can tell how wonderful it is and
Sounds
how
good.
nice it is to go to Pee-wee's.
I will do it. Oh, because they serve those at
They
Pee-wee's?
serve those at
Pee-wee's
Pee-wee's.
does breakfast, guys.
Yeah.
Listen, we got no good breakfast places. You got to go check it out. Anybody puts salsa in the eggs and wraps it all up, they know what they're doing. They know their
And
snacks.
John has peanuts and salsa.
You're taking up all your time. John Vick, any final comments?
Yeah, people, you can also like Robke Automotive on Facebook. We give away stuff all the time. That's where Justin won the tickets to the UC game, so make sure you like us.
Lori Taylor, you are no longer a virgin. The Bulldog Nation Radio at Real Talk 1160. How did you like your first time?
Well, it was awesome. Is more than I could have ever expected, and I'm just sorry I was late and didn't get to see it in person the first 30 minutes that you had going on.
Now, I've already announced this. You are working with somebody on the West Coast. You're working on getting this show syndicated, correct?
Yes, we are. The person that does all the reps Ryan Seacrest. We are working with them. They're very interested in your show, and they're very excited, and we're working very hard on that, and I think it's just a matter. I actually think you're already a national radio show. The nation just doesn't know it yet.
Thank you, Lori Taylor, and will you promise to come back each and every day, and if you're out of town, call in?
As God is my witness, so help me God. Pinky swear I will.
I think Bulldog Nation is just falling in love with Lori Taylor, and we'll let Tina Morawski be your backup. And I got to get a backup for TC when he's not when he's eating his oatmeal and his banana. TC, any final comments from you as we play for Kodak Kodachrome?
You know, the Green Water Company is thinking about acquiring the Kodak company.
Is it going to be a leverage buyout?
It could be.
Oh, by the way,
a green buyout.
You know, I haven't mentioned anything about Obama yet today.
You haven't.
Don't you think it's hilarious that Obama and his henchmen and the Democrats bash Mitt Romney about Bain Capital? Let me see. Obama, the community organizer, and all of his nimrods, all they've ever worked in is in government. They've never worked in business. Now think about this. Entrepreneurs, equity, companies like Bain, Wall Street, small business, medium business. Is it not absolutely hilarious, John Bick, that they're going to criticize anybody in business on any level? That is remarkable. What? That is hilarious.
Well, we've already determined that Obama's a jackwagon. So
he's a jackwagon.
What else we got to say?
Radio Superbity once again. We'll be back tomorrow, and guess what? I'm making pancakes for the team.
Yeah.
Every dog has their day. I hope tomorrow is yours on Real Talk 1160.
Just saying.